Hey guys, and welcome back to another video. In this video, we'll be going through my AFL fantasy team review for round 7, in which I ended up scoring a 2188, and it was a round rank of 12,097 and an overall rank of 15,054. So anyway, before we jump into this video, remember to like and subscribe, turn the notification bell on so you know when I upload, and let's jump into this video. So as you can see here, it wasn't the best round, but it also wasn't the worst round in general. With Zorko 124, that was an amazing bounce back game from him after having a couple of low games. Jack Sinclair did all right. A 95's all right. It's not perfect, but yeah, it's all right. Matty Roberts 114. I kind of knew this was something like this was probably going to happen with him and Bice bouncing back from, I'm pretty sure Bice had a lower, watch him have had an actual higher game last week. No, but 72 last week into an 82 this week. He's got another couple weeks of cash generation you would expect left, and then he's probably going to have to go, as he's only averaging about 90 or so, which is still well off the top of the line. So he's definitely going to be a guy that I think goes in fantasy. Whether or not he goes in Supercoach is another question, but definitely in fantasy he's going to go in the next couple of weeks. But he still has, you would expect, if he goes and does something similar to this, you would expect he still has another 100k or so to make. At least 750, 800k is a lot easier to make an upgrade from. It's basically just a rookie, one up, one down. And we've got some rookies that have still got a lot of cash in Reed, Trainer, even still O'Sullivan to a certain extent. You'd expect Gross to come back next week. And then Cleary starting to make cash as well. So you still have that area that can make some cash. So we've still got the possibility to make upgrades alongside Levi Ashcroft still making gains, although rather slowly now as he starts to top out. So he's one that could go in the next couple of weeks as well. Zach Reed, 74. It's all right. It's great. It's great for cash generation. I know he made 39k and he kind of resets his cash generation. I still expect him to get up towards that sort of 600k range. I expect somewhere soon in the next 1 or 2 weeks for him to have another big game as well. If he's not in the wet, which he's at Marvel Stadium for the next 3 games, basically meaning he's going to be in the dry. And I think when he's at Marvel Stadium, he probably, let's go to venue stats. Has he played at Marvel Stadium yet? Marvel Stadium, he averages 56.7 on 87 togs. That's the right tog for a key defender. So averages 57 at Marvel. For the next 3 weeks, he'll be there. So I'm expecting probably 360 scores, and 360 scores gets him, you would expect around 45k cash gen. So that gets him pretty much at 600, and there could be a big game in there somewhere where they just key it around the back as well. So yeah, hopefully he has a big enough game soon, and that's what we can expect from him. And then he goes up to a defender, because the defenders are probably, you're going to be able to pick them up for 900k or so. If we look at the price of defenders, and we look at top of the line guys, our Hawley is largely owned, even though he's going to do nothing. But let's go to averages for defenders, and then we go here. You'll see Whitfield, Wangani, Malira, and Ash are probably 3 of the guys that I need to target. I don't think Martin's going to be good on either front, maybe as a forward, but I don't even know if he gets there. So it's basically Lockie, Whitfield, Wangani, Malira, and Lockie, Ash that I need to target for Bice, Reed, and Trainer. And that's what I'm sort of looking at. And so yeah, that's that. But they will need, if we look at it just here with Roberts in mind, who's nearing enough, he's 93.4, so that would be here just under Martin. And it looks like he's going to get a better role now in the next couple of weeks. That role that he had, well, he's got the same role. It just looks like Sydney are going to kick it around the back. He looked a lot better in the second half. I know Sydney went bananas in the first quarter, and that's when they're ahead. But he looked better in the second half, and they definitely went through Bice and Roberts a little bit more. It was just their forward half dominance in the, their center square dominance, I should say, in the first half that didn't really allow him to, or first quarter and a half, didn't allow him to get any score on the board. So once they started to lose that, or at least halve it, he was starting to get more points. So if we think about it like this, Bice, Reed, and Trainer are priced at 653, 546, and 529. So if we go 653 plus 546 plus 529 equals 1.728 million. And I've also got Sheasel and Sinclair's down back. So I have one of them already there, but one of them will turn into a midfielder. So I still need 3 players out of them. And yeah, 3 players out of them. And whether that be 2 defenders and 1 midfielder doesn't really make too much of a difference in the long run, but those guys will be a majority of the cash needed for players. And then you take off 1.159 million, and then I only have an extra 569k. Then you take off the Wangani Malira cash, just over 1 million, and I'm already in the negatives by 400k, which is basically going to be Finn O'Sullivan. So Finn O'Sullivan, Reed, Bice, and Trainer basically cover me getting my full back line. If you put Harry Sheasel back there, and then I've got Levi Ashcroft, Lindsay, and someone like Gross alongside other rookies to get 3 midfielders. And then the forwards, I think Stone, I think Standers and Davidson will go up to a midfielder, sorry, not a midfielder, forward this week, which will get me to just Caden Cleary on the bench, and then another rookie, etc. The rookie will be probably Buzzlinger. But yeah, that'll get me down to 1 guy needing to upgrade here. Effectively 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 upgrades left for me. And then we're into luxury upgrading of getting Oliver, getting Caleb Sarong up, getting Matty Roberts up, etc. like that. And potentially even Caleb Daniel, who I think might have even lost cash this week, lost 2k this week, but he should be back to his best. You could even look at like a Max Holmes, etc. But that's sort of what I'm looking at there, and just doing the maths in my head at the moment. And that's also with, I'm just thinking about it now, because that would be upgrade all on field, but I'm not thinking about necessarily off field, the rookies, etc., needing to go down to 230k rookies. So we're still a little ways away from maxing out the side, but I think we'll get there in the end, is what my whole sort of 2-minute spiel is there. Harry Sheasel, he got back to his best in the back half, but yeah, he has been a failed pick almost in a way this year, just because, and this is something that I probably will do next year, is just not pick top of the line guys. Simply put, they're just going to be so maybe in the ruck line, but outside of that, and forward line sometimes can be so, but in the defender line and the midfield line, they never really get away from you, I don't feel like. So it could be a reason just to go against it and not go and pick top of the line guys, just because they're probably not going to be valuable in the long run. And really just try and pick the guys that could potentially, even if they're just going 90, 95, etc., 100, and maybe need to be upgrades in the long run, they'll be more valuable because you'll be able to get you'll be able to, if you can just nail the mid prices, which I didn't do this year, that's the more valuable part of fantasy. Nick Dacos, outstanding again, and he looked back to his best. Connor Rozee, he looked back to his best in that halfback role. He's done amazing the last couple of weeks. Jai Newcomb, brought him in, and he went 91. And he had 77% time on ground, which is roughly what he usually does. Maybe you would argue 3-4% less than what he usually does. 3 marks, 8 tackles, just 7. Just didn't get the disposals up, simply put. And that really sucks because that was a positive matchup and it just didn't end up scoring well for him. So yeah, I really wish I'd gone Petrarca over Newcomb. That would have gained me a further like 20, 30 points. Would have probably put me about 13,000 overall. And yeah, there's other things that I could have done as well that would have gained me some extra points, mainly putting Caden Cleary over Sam Davidson. That would have gained me, and Connor Stone over Riley Sanders. That's 14 plus 31. That's 45 points there as well. So that's 45 points plus if we just go to, I think even Petrarca might even be set in my, currently in my team. So yeah, let me just pick, I think he got like a 115 or something like that. Let me just pick up what he got. In the end, he got a 114, so that's 23 points plus 45, so 68 points I missed out on there if I got my team perfect. 68 points would put me at a 22.56, and a 22.56 would have been absolutely huge. So yeah, I'm just missing out a lot of points here that I could easily pick up, and that's what's causing me to stay pretty low down still. Caleb Sarong really struggled this year, 92. I think he's gone about 10 points under what he was starting at. I think he started at about 100k more. So yeah, 109k more, which is 1.067 million. So let me just divide that by the magic number. Yeah, he was priced at like 104 and he's gone 92. That is an absolute failed pick, and I should almost consider trading him to a certain extent and just getting out of him. Because yeah, that is a failed pick there. I'm kind of actually happy that I went Carroll in the end over like a Buzzlinger. I know some people went early on a Buzzlinger, but he went and scored a 38, went up like what, 10k, something like that. I think he's even in my he's even in my trade-ins this week just because he is the only rookie. But if we just go to Buzzlinger, these are the current trade-ins. They'll probably change. He only went up 16k. Carroll went up 57k, so I gapped 41k on those people. Yes, they got an extra like 80k than I would have gotten to be able to spend on field rather than what I have at that point. But I gained the extra 50k, the extra 30 40k from Carroll, and he's got a break even of 3, whereas I don't think Buzzlinger has a break even of 3. So if Carroll survives this week, he'll go up to 400k, and he starts to get into the territory of being able to be used as a trade out already, which is pretty good. Clayton Oliver, he's just sort of vibing along, not really doing anything dangerous, but yeah, he could potentially be a trade out soon. He's still averaging 96.7, so he's doing all right, but nothing perfect. Levi Ashcroft is starting to get to the end of his cash generation. 658k, 61 break even. He's going to be gone in the next week or two, I think, as an upgrade, just because I don't know if he has that big score in him. He's got a 94 and an 82, but he's also got some 60 scores in him. So he's got a higher floor for a rookie, but not really that low. He's got a lower ceiling, I feel like, compared to other rookies that potentially could go 110, and he just doesn't have that capability. Xavier Lindsay, 98, and his break even has just gone massively down, and he's got another 120k, 150k to make, which would get him into the 650k range also. And then Finn O'Sullivan at 41, so he's starting to even lose cash at this point. He just doesn't have the capability to score, and we should have known that, to be honest with you. Yeah, definitely going to stick away from those type of rookies next year. Going to try and give myself more of a checklist of what not to do and follow that more than what I've done. Gross just didn't play, but he had a really good waffle game, so hopefully he comes back. And then Maxi Gawn, a 138. That was absolutely huge. Yeah, one of the better starting picks. Even though he's gone down in cash, he's starting to make that back up very quickly in the last couple of weeks. He's averaged 127 the last couple of weeks, and now has the West Coast matchup, which will be another VC or captaincy. I need to just look at that. I think Dacos is another one that you could VC potentially. Let's just look at it. You've got, where is the Melbourne game? You've got Melbourne and Collingwood both on that same time. Wow, that's a stuffed. That's unlucky. VC, that's a horrible round. This is a horrible round for a VC, just looking at it. Maybe TDK against ROB, or if they do debut McAndrew, then you would do that, but I don't know if they will. I don't think they will. TDK did exactly what he needs to do. He'll be back. Averaging 100.7 now on the year. Could potentially be an upgrade for Cherry at the buy rounds, because that'll be right when we're starting to upgrade guys like Oliver and Roberts, and TDK starts to come into a hard run, I think around the round 14 range. He has the Eagles, so yeah, we'll see. Maybe after the Eagles game, that's when you trade him out, because yeah, he might not do the greatest there, and he struggled against both the Eagles and North, so you might even trade him out ahead of at his buy or something like that to Cherry. I think they both sit on the same buy, so that might not be the smart plan, actually. Just thinking about it, you may not be actually trading him till after the buys, but we'll have to wait and see on that, because yeah, we'll wait and see if it's more valuable to trade him to Cherry, who could go on a mad run, or if it's more valuable to trade a guy that's sitting on a buy round to someone else. Then you've got Jack Macrae. He's just doing his thing at the moment. He's not really averaging the best, but he's one of the better forwards to have, so he'll pop off eventually. Jason Horne-Francis, kind of doing exactly what we thought he'd do. He averaged 90 to start the year, and he's doing 91 again. Should have probably seen this and gone against him. If I'd gone Rankin, I don't know what Rankin is priced at nor what he's averaging. Rankin is averaging 94.3 and was priced at, I think, yeah, at 80 odd. So I would have had another 100k, which I could have easily gone with instead of Horne-Francis and Sarong. Could have easily gone with Brayshaw and also Rankin, and been what is Rankin is on a total 660 points, whereas Horne-Francis 636. And he's played one less. Has he played 7? He's played 7 games, so that's an extra like 23 points. And then Brayshaw, which I should have started him over Sarong in all honesty, is averaging 108 with 757, sorry. So that would have been another 100 odd points, which would have put me in a much better position. So just shows those little 50-50 calls with Sarong versus Brayshaw that I was debating, and I just got it wrong. Yep, talked about Caleb Daniel Bailey-Smith. He's just doing what he needs to do. He's the 4th ranked player in the comp, and he will be the number 1 forward. Even though he's played one less game, he's honestly already getting close to having that honor. Yeah, he's already passed pretty much everyone other than Jack Macrae in the forward line. I think if we go to total points and then the forwards, yeah, he is already 683, so it's only Jack Macrae that's higher than him, and he missed a game, which just shows the difference there of him. And then Sanders can finally stuff off alongside. He's done well, Sanders, through 7 games. He's averaged 81, which has still gained 139k, but he just probably shouldn't have started him over someone else. And then Davidson has finally done his job, and his break even is hard to get to, so I'm going to be trading him out and just fielding Cleary, who I told you would be really good, and it looks like he'll be really good. It just depends with Cleary if they give him that role in the next couple of weeks or not, because if Sydney give up in terms of, and I don't, if they almost wave the white flag and give in, Cleary could be getting good midfield time and could become an F7. He could easily become an F7 just with the numbers he's put up before. If you look at his VFL numbers, the 118 that he put up in the VFL to start the year, and then last year he put up 86, and I'm pretty sure one of the games he had he had a couple of stinkers as well in the VFL, and even in even in his sort of junior year draft year, he still averaged 66 in the VFL, which probably shows that he can do it. Wait, no, he also played this game as well. So he averaged 63 in 6 games in the VFL in his draft year. And he started the 90 odd. So yeah, you take out a couple of absolute stinkers in the VFL where I think he played the small forward role, which, I mean, he will kind of play as well. But yeah, if they give him the midfield time, if they give him that 4th mid time, which they potentially could do, then I see him averaging 85 or so, which he's basically done as a small forward anyway. But that is pretty much the video, as Lucas Camporelli looks to be a dead rookie again. Just no cash gen. And then Connor Stone, a 65. He's starting to make cash finally. He's gone back-to-back 60s, which has been really, really good for cash generation, as he made 36k and he's made 210k for the year. So he's still making a lot of cash, and he's starting to get to the range where we can finally actually trade him out, and he'll be a valuable trade out to upgrade. Given that next week I could probably just go Levi Ashcroft and Connor Stone potentially to a premium midfielder, which will be good to get up to those guys that are like, Dawson's doing horrifically, but he could be a really good buy-in, as well as guys like Dunkley and Brayshaw. So yeah, we'll see about that, but that's sort of what I'm looking at for the couple of weeks in the future. And I could even do that now, but I feel like Petrarca could be a guy that sort of gets away from me in terms of ownership, which will be, sorry, not ownership, but price point I'll be losing out on a little bit, but I'll have to just weigh it up a little bit in the next couple days. But anyway, that is the video there. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys back here later for the Supercoach team review for round 7. Bye, guys.